Hello students, welcome to another video on speeches. Today we are going to understand the importance of voice in speeches. Let's begin with a recap. In the previous videos we understood what voice is. We also understood what is active voice and what is passive voice. And prior to that we talked about different speeches. So today, importance of voice in speeches. Here we shall understand that both active and passive voices, they serve essential purposes in speech. The choice between them impacts clarity, engagement and emphasis. Understanding when to use each voice enhances speech effectiveness. So, now we'll see when to use active voice. Active voice is more direct and concise writing, generally preferred in most writing. The example is the chef prepared the meal. Secondly, it is easier to understand. It's often more clear and engaging. For example, Risha will explain the new policy today. It is strong and the subject is clear. It is more forceful and impactful. For example, you have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. It's a quote from Thunberg's "How dare you" speech. We understood where we use active voice and now we shall see where we use passive voice. Passive voice is used when the performer or the action is unknown or unimportant. For example, the new policy will be explained today. The focus is on the action. Secondly, when the performer of the action is obvious. For example, the incidence of malnutrition and deficiency disease is very high among Africans. It's quoted from Mandela's "I am prepared to die" speech. The next is the result is more important than the performer of the action. For example, thousands of lives were affected by the earthquake. Now we shall contrast the usage of active voice and passive voice. Active voice is used when clarity and engagement are needed. We also use it when we emphasize responsibility. And passive voice is used in formal reports or scientific writing. It is also used when doer is unknown or unimportant. Now we'll see how active voice and passive voice impact the effect of the speech. Let's take an example of Greta Thunberg's speech, "How dare you." We have already done that in the previous videos. Now we'll start with this. I'll show you one excerpt from her speech. "You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of mass extinction. And all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?" So now this is an extract from the speech itself, exact words. Now this all is in active voice. Now let's see when we change it into passive voice what the words would be. My dreams and childhood have been stolen from me and your empty words, and yet I am one of the lucky ones. Suffering and dying are experiences had by people. Entire ecosystems are collapsing in the midst of a mass extinction. You only discuss money and the fairy tales of eternal economic growth. Now you have seen how the speech changes when we change it from active voice to passive voice. Let's compare the two. Original speech is more powerful. It emphasizes the actors as well as the urgency of the situation. And when it is changed into passive voice, it loses the emotional impact. It makes the situation seem less critical by downplaying the responsibility of leaders. Now we shall understand the power of voice in public speaking. The right voice enhances the speech's effectiveness. If we talk of active voice, it energizes the words and connects the speaker with the audience, whereas the passive voice provides formality and it weakens the impact. Now it's the choice of the speakers. What voice do they want to use in their speech, and that will suit their message. So now it's the task time. You have been given a few sentences here. You have to change their voice using appropriate forms and verbs that we have already talked about. That's all for today. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.